diversity, culture, humanity. Welcome to MarkTalk. What's up, guys? Welcome to another MarkTalk. Today, we have our amazing and awesome guest, Maha Yakoub from Learn Arabic with Maha. Some of you may have seen her in the previous collaboration I did when we were comparing languages. Now we have her for a direct conversation one-on-one. So get ready for that. It's going to be fun. Today's Patreon shout-out goes to Yaman Zain, Pierre, Sarah Ali, and Zarg. You guys are one of the early ones, one of the OGs. You're awesome. Thank you so much for your support. You guys keep this thing going and alive. Also, I'd like to welcome our newest patrons to the community. We have Zayd Abdulaziz, M207, and T. Bailo. Welcome to the family. Thank you for coming. Buongiorno.
Shukran. Buongiorno. Buonasera.
Hey. For those of you who don't know, guys, by the way, Maha is coming to us right from Italy. It's morning here and cloudy, but it's okay. Well, now we're in fall. We're soon getting to winter. Crazy winter here.
واحنا it's pretty intense والله بإيطاليا. I wasn't expecting that, بس يعني summers are getting pretty intense winters the
It's
same.
not like
Yeah.
Palestine. Palestine is quite the intent.
Oof, yeah. The summer.
So, we have a few questions for you. So a lot of questions from fans who are really interested. Actually, we had a
Wow.
lot of questions for you. People are loving
Yalla.
the fans here and on your channel. They love the language and the Arabic, so they have a lot of things to ask you. Actually, one of the first things I was curious about is how long you've lived in Italy, because I was surprised to know in the beginning that you are, and I was the Italian you speak is also. It sounds very native to me. Like when I was studying Italian. And the way you speak
When
it.
when you live in the country, it's automatic. You get the accent, or you speak like a native. So صح, and my Italian is pretty good. I've been living here for 15 years, يعني, so it should have been good. It should be. So yeah, 15 years. Wow, 2005. I arrived in September 2005, and by November 2005, I spoke already the Italian that I speak now. The problem is that I didn't improve. With time, خلاص, I said, yalla. I speak, they understand me. I don't have an accent, so yalla, let's not go into imperfect tenses and etc. So yeah. Because even Italians themselves, they don't use it actually. يعني the complex Italian grammar. I don't know, انت how far...
I mean, studied for a few years, so I got to intermediate, I would say, conversational.
How about congiuntivo? Hai imparato il congiuntivo?
Yeah, you know what? Because it's very similar to French. French has its very complicated tenses too, and most in conversation we don't use them. So I think it's the same.
صح, same في إيطاليا, صح.
Speak Arabic, I find it very easy to learn Italian in terms of pronunciation.
If you speak Arabic, guys, you find it easy to learn any language in the world. That's the way it is. We speak one of the most difficult languages, so any other language for us seems to be easy. Problem is the pronunciation. So we have to work on the pronunciation.
That's true. The Arabic kicks in. The strength of the Arabic kicks in.
Voglio una pizza.
Voglio una pizza. Oh, that's interesting. I've never heard an Arabic accent in Italian.
Ooh, we have a lot of P's in Italian, so the P is il baba.
Il baba, see. Speaking of, I don't believe there's a letter H in Arab in Italian.
Yeah,
so people must call you ma there, no?
My own husband that I've known for the past 20 years, he doesn't pronounce the H in my name. He calls me ma.
Ma, just to stretch ah.
Yeah, his grandma baptized me as, or like she calls me Mara to simplify her life. Mara.
There you go.
Because they have Mara, the name Mara in Italian, so you know she's over 90 years old, so she always called me Mara. Well, which is okay. But my husband, I don't forgive for calling me Ma.
Does he speak Arabic, your husband?
شوي, just a little. Yeah. I wanted to teach him. I even had him on some of my videos on YouTube, but after the letter H, he quit.
You can't. Your whole channel is dedicated to teaching
خلاص.
Arabic. Your husband has to.
I'm pouring all my energy in my daughter now. So, inshallah.
How is it for her, by the way, to have the mix of culture and language?
Oh, it's been a struggle. Especially this year with COVID, I hadn't had the chance to go back home. Usually when I used to go home, I used to put her in kindergarten so she could get used, to the language, speak with kids. But this year we couldn't go home and she's not speaking any word. So I'm struggling. Yani, wallah, yesterday I even hired a teacher, an Arabic teacher, which I am. To sit
The
with
irony.
her and the irony, to sit and talk to her at least like half an hour a week, only Arabic, يعني, exclusively in Arabic, because she's not answering me. And it's a struggle. It's a daily struggle. I speak with her in Arabic. She tells me, "Mama, we are in Italia. Talk to me in Italian." يعني, she's taking it to. Yes, I don't want to force it on her, but I know that she understands. I want to keep the flame, how do you say? Yeah.
Going, yeah.
On,
The flame alive.
going.
Yeah.
أيوة.
I see what you're saying. So,
Yeah.
so culturally or linguistically, she's a lot more immersed in Italian than.
Oh, of course. She's يعني, yeah, she is. Culturally, it's like half and a half, because in the house, music is Arabic, films, I try to keep this, again, alive in her other half. But language usage-wise, that's the main problem for me now. But يعني, she knows, she understands. So one day she'll pick it up with more enthusiasm. That's like what I want to implant in her, the love for the language, the usage of the language. But culture is good. So you said with you being born in Canada is...
Well, when I was younger, it was a lot of English and French. It was, I mean, at home it was all Arabic, Lebanese, but it was the same idea. My mom tried to teach me Arabic at home or even after school, but it was dominated by French and English until eventually I was like, no, خلاص, we have to learn
خلاص.
the Fusha, the full thing. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun learning. Every language it's like a new personality.
Yeah, definitely. صح. Even my voice changes when I speak like German or when I speak Italian. It's not me. يعني, when I'm in Italy, my whole life it's like acting. It's not acting.
It's Mara. خلاص, it's your alter ego.
It's somebody else. Wallah, even يعني, my own, I don't know, personality changes. Automatically, not intended, but I don't know. Yeah, this is what happened.
Adaptation. It's normal.
أيوة.
Yeah. So wait, how many languages you speak? You said German too.
Oh, okay, don't test me. Well, I speak Arabic, Hebrew, both like we can call it mother tongue or as a native speaker. Then I speak English, and then I speak Italian very well, and I'm learning German. يعني, I don't speak, I'm learning, and I'm learning French. But my German is much better than my French, and I can see myself speaking German fluently in the near future. That's why I sometimes say, okay, I speak some German. But if you want to try, ich spreche ein bisschen Deutsch. خلاص, don't.
That is the language I have not learned. I wanted to, but
And you will not. You wanted to.
I wanted to. Yeah, I had a list of languages, but priorities come and you have to choose eventually.
Yeah.
So I decided to focus more on Arabic. So
I was thinking, recently I was even thinking, يعني, I have the money, I have the time now. I want to invest in like a tutor, like a language teacher online, because we have the time now online. So, but I didn't come up with a language that would interest me. يعني, out of all the languages German, I said I have to improve it. But I was even at some point asking my husband, okay, if you would يعني, have the time and money, what language would you learn? And he said Russian. I don't know.
I want something easier.
I was going to ask you, yeah. So you've been speaking about teaching. How long have you been teaching? I don't know. Have you been teaching on YouTube from the beginning, or you were a teacher before?
لا والله, I started around 2007. First, I learned at the university to become a teacher, English language and literature, and then I learned some Arabic here in Italy because, okay, I said I need to finish my degree, then let's learn Arabic. So I'm a teacher, yeah, this is my job. I started teaching around 2006, 2007 at an online language school. I don't know if you've heard of it. It was one of the first, of course, ones, Education Fire. I found it online, and I actually one of my first ever YouTube videos was like a promo or a trial video to my students on EduFire to see the teacher or what am I, how I teach, my method, and etc. So I put this promo video on YouTube, and I started getting many more YouTube views rather than the EduFire platform. So I taught on EduFire, and then I moved to a real school. I taught in a real school in Italy, and I started getting interested in YouTube and putting my videos, my courses there. So yeah, online school, and then YouTube. I didn't start right away as a YouTuber, and I still don't think of myself as a YouTuber, the real YouTube after 12 years.
Even if you have 500,000 followers.
Yeah, but still, I'm not. I feel sorry. I feel sorry now.
No, but it's great. I
Yeah,
find it
yeah.
humble in a way of you. It's you still consider yourself a teacher, but that's the beauty of the online world, is that you're bringing that
Yeah.
skill and
Online.
allowing people from around the world to discover Arabic online, which was
Yeah.
not maybe as easily available 10 years ago. So I think
Right.
it's great.
Yeah.
So you said, okay, so you're an official teacher since 2007 then. So you've been teaching for a very long time.
Yeah. I've been teaching even since I was like at the university. I used to teach also, but just online, private lessons. But I this is what I wanted to do since I was a little kid. I wanted to be an English teacher, actually, not an Arabic teacher. Arabic came to the picture when I arrived here. New language. Everybody was interested in knowing things about my language or about me, my culture. So I started teaching Arabic, actually, not because I am a language teacher, but because I wanted to show people or to get them to understand my culture, my language, through the language. It was mainly just to open people's eyes, build bridges between us and the Europeans here, because I was supposed to live my whole life here in Italy, and I wanted people to understand me, understand where I come from, my culture. So it was more a cultural cause, the beginning of my YouTube channel, not a linguistic, from a language teacher point of view.
Okay, so you had a mission then. You still have a mission to build
Yes,
bridges.
yeah, that was my that's my mission. Yeah.
And how did that turn out, would you say?
Very, very well.
I was among the first educational channels out there on YouTube. I started my YouTube channel in 2007, 2008, and I was the first Arabic teacher, that's for sure. First Arabic language channel, yes. And again, I feel that we've come, how do you say? And no, we've come far. I don't know. We have accomplished a long way. 500,000 people subscribe. They are interested in having content related to Arabic, to an Arabic recipe, an Arabic sentence, or seeing an Arab sipping coffee. It's a big accomplishment for me. And after me, there were a lot of language-related channels, of course, Arabic, and that's what makes me proud. I'm proud that I've paved the way for many people to start pave the way for many people to start teaching our language and our culture online. So it's definitely. We still have a lot of prejudice and stereotypes and a lot of racism towards Arabs nowadays, maybe even more than before. But I feel that many people are now less ignorant about who is an Arab and who's not, and what does an Arab live, or is he a real human?
Does he live in
Yes.
tent or
Ride camels or not? يعني many people are much more aware about us. So yes, I'm glad, and that's my mission, and that has always been my mission. Yeah, and that's what makes me feel a little bit ashamed now or embarrassed, because I haven't been posting a lot on my YouTube channel lately regarding this passion of mine. I switched into a language teacher, only interested in the language. So I'm trying to get more time to dedicate to more cultural content. So inshallah, new culture.
But I've been seeing it. I've been seeing some of your videos have been also about expressions instead of just an actual teaching class.
yeah. How to say this?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Couple questions here we have for you. Oh yes, one question
Yeah.
I'm curious about, because I've never been to Italy, but it's really on my list. What would you say is one of the favorite things you like about Italy?
I love it. I've always wanted to come and live in Italy. I was sure that I would marry an Italian since I was 13, I swear. By the way, I started speaking with my husband when I was 13, chatting. You know, I was an online freak. I loved the languages. And I was so obsessed about Italy that I said to my parents once, if I ever die, bury me in Italy. I have this connection, wallah, I swear. I have this connection to this land. So everything, I love everything about Italy. When it comes to geography or which city you should visit, definitely Rome, and spend weeks and weeks in Rome. Rome is like very similar to Jerusalem for me. Yani every corner you find something that will blow your mind. So yeah. I love Italy, everything. When I came here, of course, I expected more because I had this idea about Italy. But still, I'm in love with this land, with the people, and yeah.
So you've had a connection with it since forever. Maybe you were Italian in another life
like
or
with
something.
India, like with India, I feel so connected to India, being Indian or something. Yes, with the culture, with the music, with everything. But still, Italy was like يعني in my next life I'll go to India. I'll marry an Indian.
Tell that to your husband.
He knows he doesn't want to take me to India. I've never been to India because he knows I'll stay there.
Yeah, I have also many people watching from India on my channel. A lot, yeah, a lot of people, a lot of support. So shukran if you're watching, Mark also.
You have to learn Hindi now then, or Punjabi.
Yeah, Hindi or Sanskrit or yeah, maybe, yeah. I love the writing of Hindi, but many people tell me it's similar to Arabic, so I want something more challenging. That's why I was thinking Japanese or...
Definitely, that would be if you learn another language. I mean, Japanese would be something else.
Yeah.
Pronunciation I
that's
find easy, but for us Arab,
yeah.
because in Japanese they don't overstretch the lips when they speak, so we might find ourselves being ooh and ah and with our Arabic accent, which doesn't happen in Japanese.
I love your videos when you speak Arabic in Japanese. Like, you kill me.
This is something crazy is happening in here. I love cultural fusion. I love to bring cultures together. This is my way of bringing people together. Saying like, imagine you start fusing things.
Brilliant, Anjad, you're brilliant in it.
Thank you.
I love it.
Also with your perfect English, with perfect English and switching Arabic, right? يعني it's perfect Arabic inside. It's يعني it's the best, wallah.
Thank you. We've talked about all the stuff you love about it, but is there something you like a little less, maybe?
About Italy? Their lack of language knowledge of other languages. They're good in everything, in music, in art, in style, everything, in food. Their lack of belief in themselves, the majority, of course, you can't talk just the majority, or in general, of wanting to learn another language, because if you learn another language, it opens new doors, and you get you learn other cultures. You don't exist alone in the world. So that's not because they don't know it, but they think they cannot speak at least English. That's like majority of my friends my age, يعني young people, they think they're not able to learn English, at least يعني English. And I dislike this, and I say, but you are able. يعني don't. It's not automatic. Italians don't speak English and Arabs do. No. So يعني this not will, or thinking that you're not, you can't speak this or another language, makes me dislike. But that's it. يعني other. If you talk about other things about Italy, I love it, and I'm happy that I ended up here, and I'm satisfied.
How has it been for you as a Palestinian/Arab person in Italy?
Yeah.
Well, Arabs aren't seen at their best elsewhere, other than in the Arab countries where they came from. And Italy is one of these countries where I felt, as I'm not somebody who's from here, and the language is a big barrier, and that's why, again, my mission is to bring people together through language, to implant in them the love for the interest, at least, for other cultures and other people's habits. So yeah, I felt a little bit of not a lot of racism at the beginning, because of course Italians are like warm. They are really warm people. They are welcoming, etc. Within the years, actually, it's becoming more and more difficult for me to how do you say, to be integrated in newer situations, new situations, or if I enlist in like some kind of social activity, I will be shown nowadays as the stranger, the foreigner. You're not Italian. They can understand from the way you look, and etc. And nowadays it's worse, because in Italy we have a big influence of right-wing party, nationalist, ultra-nationalist party, which are using social media to implant fear of who isn't like you, fear of the non-Italian or the non-European in people's minds. And unfortunately, a lot of people are believing in these lies and etc. in this propaganda, and they're changing the way they look at people who aren't Italian. So it's not as, in particular for me being an Arab, of course, because Arabs everywhere are not seen very well. But for the fact that I'm not Italian, I feel it worsening, but because of this political party that I'm talking about. But and inshallah, we will have ways to show or to change these people's minds by showing them good examples of who we really are. As a Palestinian, every time they ask you, where are you from? Palestine. That's the answer. That's it. So yeah, I say, okay, yeah, better than. I had even some students in one of my courses, live courses, Nita, that I made, who used to do jokes, to make jokes about, boom, if you don't translate this sentence correctly, Maha will boom. Okay, so we are famous of being terrorists, and I will blow the whole class up. So I don't know in these situations to laugh. So I just I also say and I move on. So there is ignorance and there is racism everywhere in the world. I try during or through my job to make it vanish, or to destroy the ignorance and the racism, or at least to ignore it. Or to give the good example. For people to change their minds. I've had a lot of people who used to vote for this party. And now, after they learned about Arabic, they learned about how we live. We are real human beings. The language, our language is so beautiful, and you can learn. It's the language of peace, يعني salam, no? So learning the language through this, I could change a lot of people's prior ideas. They understood that they were mistaken. The ideas were mistaken, and yeah, we are just like they are. There are good people, of course. There are good Arabs and bad Arabs, just like everybody.
So it's the same thing. It's again, just like I was saying with Hamza on last episode. Still about education and still about kindness. You know, teaching people, and fear is usually ignorance, which makes people latch on to an idea, and like you said, maybe a political party that will maybe satisfy this fear. So yeah, I think what you're doing is great, you know, and
Thank you.
For me, I'm glad and proud as an Arab to see that you have 500,000 followers
Thank
who are
you.
learning language, and specifically Arabic. But I'm curious, do you have a lot of Italian students?
Yeah, yes, a lot. A lot of Italian students, and I have even the real courses, يعني real language course, which I hold now online. I have a beautiful group of people that are that have been taken from zero. Now they are upper intermediate. So yes, I have a lot of Italians. I even had an Italian channel that I neglected because I wanted Italians to start learning English. I wanted to speak to the whole world, and I wanted them to make this small effort in understanding my Arabic through English, in English. So I neglected the Italian channel, and I have a lot of Italians who just like, Ma, why did you stop the Italian courses? I said, okay, but I didn't stop. I have the courses in English. And since I had a lot of public in Italy, I really neglected them. I created these 2 books. I wrote 2 books. Specifically in Italian, which are an Arabic course in Italian language for my Italian public.
Where can we find this?
You can find this in Amazon. Well, I don't have it here. I wanted to show you, but you can find it in Amazon. It's called Instant Arabo. It's a full course, a beginner course. And another one is called Come Scrivere in Arabo, which concentrates more on the writing system of our letters, which are so beautiful and the easiest part, by the way. So if you're learning Arabic, don't worry about the letters.
Yeah. The toughest part.
No, la. Really, it's the easiest part.
Okay, what would you say? What would you say is the best advice you can give for learning Arabic?
Find you an Arab-speaking friend. Best advice. And bombard them with questions on a daily basis, on WhatsApp, everything. Bombard them with questions. And music, of course. Music helps a lot. There are a lot of songs, Fairuz and Sabah, and we have a lot of songs that are really standard Arabic. So they are not the dialect, or like if you're fearing, okay, they might be singing in Egyptian or Algerian or whatever. We have poems turned into songs, sung by the best of our Arabic artists, our Arabic-speaking artists, such as Fairuz, and they are real standard Arabic songs, poems sung by her. So yeah, music helps a lot. I have a lot of my real students who have direct contact with me on my phone. I have every day about 10-20 questions coming from songs. Okay, Maha, what does he want to say in this sentence? أنا بحبك كتير. What? Yeah, so it's good. It's good to have, of course, a teacher, a friendly teacher that you can ask out of the classroom. But getting a friend is the best, because I'm learning German. I have a German friend, and she's helping me like twice the quantity of me sitting with a book and learning the grammar. Yeah. So yeah.
Why is that? So music, obviously, for rhythm, helps you learn. But why does having a friend help you better than your... Just
like what I said with teaching the language, the mission is through the language, to get them to learn the culture. If you have a friend, he's already a friend. So you're interested in his culture and how he lives, and the only thing that is missing is the language. So you have already the interest, and you want to improve it by getting to know the language. While otherwise, people who are interested in the language, I had something. People are interested in the language. I can push some culture through the language. And by having a friend, you're already interested in the culture. He is your friend. You like him. You have a very easy, simple way, or the fastest way to get to learn the language through something that you already love, yeah, which is your
Absolutely, yeah.
friend and his culture.
They're the perfect door to you knowing about this place, because they're also
Yeah.
teaching you expressions you might not
Of
discover
course,
elsewhere.
expressions, food. Maybe you go and eat food with him and you say, okay, what is it called? Maqlubi. Maqlubi. What is the meaning of maqlubi? It's flipped. So you start qalaba. Okay, qalaba is to flip. Yani a lot.
Do you teach also Palestinian Arabic? Because I know
Yeah,
you've covered a lot of
definitely.
Palestinian expressions.
Yeah, definitely. I also teach Palestinian Arabic, and it's a joy. It's a real immense joy to hear my students speak the fallahi, the rural,
rural
أيوة.
Palestine.
It's a joy, and sometimes I film them and I show my parents, and they are so proud. You see tears of joy in their eyes. I can't believe that like an Irish person can speak this expression. Yeah, يعني it's a joy. Yeah, it's much more joyous than people speaking the standard Arabic, of course, or learning standard Arabic. Even though learning standard Arabic is it's of high prestige even for Arabs themselves. Yani you don't find real Arabs speaking correctly the MSA. So if a foreigner speaks MSA, still it's wow, it's like a proud inside of you, or a shock. Oh my God, you speak better than me sometimes. Sometimes my students speak better than my father, better than my mother speaking standard Arabic. So both ways really are a joy. When it comes to the dialect, it's much more like a palpable, because that's the way we speak. When you hear them speak the way our grandparents speak to us, it's real. It's fun. It's a joy. It's a satisfaction for the teacher. So yeah, I'm blessed. I'm blessed to be able to also teach my dialect. Yeah, and to keep the world, Palestine, alive, and the language and everything and the culture, to keep it alive through teaching the language.
Yeah, that was my next question. I was going to ask you, how has that impacted your students? Like you said, it keeps the Palestinian dream alive. Has it inspired your students to know more about Palestine? To maybe want?
No, definitely. Yeah, definitely. I even held courses in the Holy Land, and we visited a lot of Palestinian cities and villages together. And yeah, but when somebody enlists or applies for a Palestinian dialect course, they already have this passion or this love or this knowledge about Palestine, and they want to learn how the Palestinian people speak. It's more of a challenge when you teach standard Arabic or Arabic in general and start inserting or getting people to know about your dialect or your country, your cities. So this, I do it in particular when I hold my standard Arabic classes in my home country, in Palestine, and I take them to Palestinian cities and etc. There, through the language, I can show them, or I can again implant in them this love for also the culture and the place, and keep Palestine alive. Yeah. I make sure to visit every couple of months. But yeah, now with COVID, unfortunately, the last time that I visited was last December. And I can't wait to go back home for a course or not, just to see my parents and to smell the
Home.
the smell of home. Yeah. Yeah. For somebody who has chosen to live abroad, it's not something, I know it's not a question, but it's a continuation. It's not something easy, especially when you are so attached to your home, your family, and etc. We have a lot of Arab people, or I don't know if Palestinian in particular, but Arab people have this value of family, being together with your family, around your parents, and it's something so deep and very strong. It's a strong connection. So for somebody who lives abroad, it's this is difficult. It's not that easy. So I try to visit as much as I can, and to even take my daughter with me and to make her live really her grandparents for long periods of times, as much as I can. So I visit every couple of months, and alhamdulillah, I was able to do that up until now.
That's great. So how does your daughter find Palestine?
She loves it. She hates the language. because I'm forcing it on her now. She hates the language when she's not there. When she's there, she loves it. There are a lot of kids. Sometimes the rules that she has here in Europe, there are no rules there, so you can play until midnight with your cousins. So she likes the freedom that I give to her there. She loves the food, of course. She loves her aunts and aunts. You say aunts or aunts?
I think you say
And
both. Sometimes it's depending
in
on the
Canada, what do you say?
I have the habit of saying ants, but then I hear other people saying aunts, and I'm like, oh,
Ah,
I guess so.
I,
Because
I was told
ant is
aunts.
also
Ant
familia.
is the ant for Mika.
Or Mika, I mean, yes, yeah.
For Amelia. So yeah, she loves it. She loves it a lot. Every time we go, وين رايحين? فلسطين, and we take off, and she's super super happy. Yeah, alhamdulillah.
How
أنا
is it there, by
مبسوطة.
the way, now? How is it? I know it's besides COVID, but generally speaking, how is it?
So it's a place where I would love to see peace within my lifespan. Before I die, I would love to see an end to the occupation, an end to the people's suffering, and to inequality and injustice. Inshallah.
That answers my question. I was going to ask you, what's your dream for Palestine?
My dream for all Palestinian people to go back to their lands, and for justice for the people who suffered. It's difficult to have justice because every day you see a new video, you see something new, and you get frustrated. Justice for both people, by the way. There is suffering from both people. We want to change the big politicians who play with us, play with their people, and we want an equal system, equal rights to live in our own country in peace, with our neighbors in peace, but to have our freedom and to have all our rights, and an end of the injustice and end of the suffering for the people. It's sometimes you can't bear. It's unbearable, you say, or unbearable. I forgot.
Unbearable, yeah.
Unbearable. But anyways, there is justice in a lot of places in the world, so you can't just concentrate in one place. And me, because it's my country, and I feel more attached to the cause, but we live in a stronger system than us. Hopefully we will be the change, the peaceful change, okay, not the militarized one.
Where would you see then, let's say in your ideal world, where would you see, let's say, Palestine and Israel?
I don't know, it's not up to me to see them, but I want to see an ending for the suffering, wallah, of the people, human beings in general, for the blacks in America, for everybody. So I'm not so into politics because it makes me sick. Even in Italian politics, many things make me sick, but I'm not active. I try to have to not make these things change the good in me, because I want to see the good in other people, even if they are like an enemy to my people. I want to see the good in the human beings, and I have a real true belief that we are good. If you put us together without all these calculations around us, this land is for me, this land is for you, people. Usually we were made to live together, to coexist, to love one another.
Well, I appreciate you going into that sensitive subject, obviously.
Yeah.
It's very enlightening to show a real perspective. Okay, so we're going to go to a few questions actually from fans who have been dying to ask you. And of course, we're always going to we're going to start with the patrons, because you guys support us so greatly. And one of the first person I have, patron, is Khalil, who asks you, did you ever have an experience where you tried, for example, a new education method or style, and it turned out pretty well? I'm sure you must have come up with some interesting personal Maha Arabic methods for your students.
You have to know that when I have a course or something really important, I have to teach 10 people the next day or 20 people, I don't sleep. the night, and I swear to God, I'm always excited, but I don't want to fail my students. I try to give my best, that I don't sleep and I start trying different strategies in my mind that would work. So usually there's a difficult subject in Arabic which is called the declension, معلم معلما معلم, etc. I always try to find a different strategy or a different way how to simplify it to my students. Sometimes I even skip a very difficult thing and I say, خلاص, no, even Arabs don't speak it. So yeah, I try always to improve, but my own method is to simplify things. To يعني really, okay, this is MSA, but nobody uses it. Let's use this word. Everybody will understand you. So that's why يعني my lessons tend to be less boring or less, military style. So yeah, look, the method is simplifying and making it fun, because if there's no fun, people will lose, interest in the language, or lose even hope to even speak it one day. So yeah, make it fun, and sometimes when there's something difficult, I try to think about it during the night and come up with
That's very dedicated of
solution.
you then.
Yes,
Wow.
I love it. That's why يعني it appears. I love doing my job and I love to give the best. I love to see my students eventually speak Arabic and not only just waste their time and my time.
So keep it simple and keep it fun. I think that's the magic of
Yes.
teaching. That's when you know a real teacher.
Yeah. And it's challenging because Arabic is none of that. Not fun and not simple.
But
It's
you
something.
make it. You make it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's see. We have some questions from YouTube now. A lot of
Oh,
questions.
yalla.
But we're going to have to select a few because we're running out of time.
Yalla.
Let's see.
Yeah.
We have here. Oh. Jana Rami asks, what is your opinion about Franco-Arab? How would it affect the Arabic language in the future? Now, from what I've seen, I don't know if you do that, but like I know in Lebanon, when we speak or like in SMS, we tend to use the alphabet mixed with numbers. Do you do that also in Palestine?
We do it a lot. Yeah. I have a lesson coming up about this. Yeah. About how to
Fantastic.
speak, how we type using numbers rather than letters. Yeah.
Okay. How do you feel about that? Like, do you think it's useful?
Yeah, it is very useful. It saves you a lot of time. I don't like when I don't know how to explain it. Even in Italian, some people say like write perché. Yeah, they write perché. Perché it should be written with a ch normally. Yeah, they write it with a k. So this, I feel like it's laziness, destroying your own language. This is what I dislike. And in Arabic, I don't find a way to explain it or like an example for that. But when you auto-destroy your own usage of language, this is not good. If you use alternatives for letters that they don't exist in the Latin letters that you are speaking in or typing in, then yeah, that's an alternative for something that doesn't exist. But if you change it with another letter or try to really ruin your language, I don't like it. Yeah.
You find it lazy, okay.
I find it lazy. And actually, you know what I do? And in WhatsApp now we have the Arabic keyboard. I never use even when I speak to my family, I always use the Arabic the Arabic keyboard, Arabic letters. I have a Lebanese friend here. We always message one another. She always laughs about the fact that I still insist on using Arabic letters. I swear to God. But she reads, she understands, maybe sometimes better than me, but still she uses Latin letters to write in Arabic. Yeah, that's...
Because you're a teacher, of course.
Maybe because I'm a teacher, yeah.
You want
I
to
also
teach
find
the
it
pure.
easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. So we have, what do we have? Let's see now. Someone, okay, the Sultana Filming Company asks, I want to learn to speak in the Levantine dialects. Would watching TV series in these dialects help? And if so,
طبعا.
what do you recommend that's actually good?
Of course. Yeah, definitely. I do recommend, I don't watch a lot of, I watch a lot, not in Levantine, I watch in Egyptian, because I miss, the Egyptian movies that we used to watch back then.
Or the plays with Adil
Adil
Imam.
Imam, yes.
Yeah, but in
Genius.
Levantine, oh yeah.
In Levantine, oof, I was a big fan of Bab el Hara back in the days. Bab el Hara is a very good option, but if you want something um, more available nowadays with your language subtitles, try El Haybe, El Hayba on Netflix. Have you watched it, Mark?
I've never actually watched it. I
الهيبة.
hear some people
Oh,
talk about it, but I never got into it.
yeah.
Try El Haybe. It's Lebanese Syrian. And there are a lot of Palestinian spoken يعني films, not on Netflix in particular, but يعني in many streaming platforms with subtitles. So watch the documentaries, and for Palestinian documentaries there are a lot everywhere, and they all have either French or English subtitles. So yeah, it definitely helps. Watch El Haybe, try El Haybe, and don't watch Fawda.
Don't watch Fauda, yes. All right, let's see. Okay, so we have from, if I pronounce that correctly, Sankalp Sriwasta.
Ooh, أهلا Indi.
There you go. That's it. One fan. Here. Sankalp Sriwatsa, I believe I said.
أيوة.
Hey, Mark, can you guys give classical Arabic music and general music recommendations? I've been looking into it, but I couldn't find anything I like personally on my own. As an Indian, Arabic music seems very familiar to me, and I'd like to hear more of it. Thank
Wow,
you, man. You're
mutual.
amazing. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you.
So what do you recommend, Maha?
Do you have like a list of your favorite? Every time I call my mom and I say, Mom, bring back all this beautiful old style music to me and to my memory, because of course have, but I don't have a list. What I'm listening to lately is Abdul Halim Hafiz. There is a song called Ahwak. It's very easy pronunciation. My daughter loves it, even though she's not.
Aywa.
Yeah. So Ahwak.
Okay, we have to wrap it up. Thank you so much, Maha, for having us.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you for coming on the MarkTalk. Great.
Shukran. It's a pleasure.
And
shukran.
we're going to put all your links. We're going to find your website, obviously, for those who actually want to learn in-depth Arabic. Don't forget to go to Learn Arabic with Maha. Best channel for learning Arabic, honestly.
Oh,
I think
shukran.
is the only real Arabic channel I've seen that teaches.
Shukran.
And keep up what you're doing. And so far, I mean, you say that you're not doing it often, but I think you're uploading almost every week. So you're still very
Luckily yesterday I did upload one, but I'm working on something huge, guys. So if you want, I'm working on something huge video wise. It's like a series in Arabic. I said everything.
No more teasing.
That you might find on Netflix, maybe. We will see. So I'm working on something huge, and that's taking majority of my time, but it's eventually for you guys. So please be patient with me, even if I upload only on a weekly basis. I'm working on behind the scenes. I'm working on something really beautiful, and it's like my baby. I can't wait for it to.
So something on Netflix there. That's a huge...
No. It's not on Netflix in particular. It can be. I said it can be put on...
Inshallah, I seriously pray that it does.
Inshallah.
It would deserve it, yeah. Very good. Very awesome.
Shukran, Mark. Shukran.
Actually, before we go, just tell people where we can find you. For people who don't know, who want to learn specifically Arabic, let them know where we can find you all over. Because like you said, you also teach online classes.
Yes.
For people who want to go more in depth.
Yeah. Well, I don't remember the name of my website.
You see, I'm a very bad content creator.
I'm a very bad YouTuber. But I know the name of my channel, which is Learn Arabic with Maha. As soon as you write Learn Arabic or Learn Arabic with, you will have me among your options and choices. Learn Arabic with Maha is my YouTube channel, and there you can find the link which leads you to the website that I don't remember, where I publish all my online courses. A new online Arabic courses is starting next month. In the 4th of November it's starting. So if you want to join us in this language learning experience and journey, you are welcome to go and check if the dates suit you, the prices and everything, and you can apply.
You heard it, guys. Before November 4th, we'll find you the links. We'll attach the links.
We will.
Thank you, Maha, for coming.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Bye.
Yalla, bye-bye.
Bye.
So there you go, my friends. Thank you for watching another Mark Talk, episode 3 with Maha. Don't forget to follow her channel, Learn Arabic with Maha, for those of you enthusiasts who want to learn Arabic. And if you are planning to learn any language, you should definitely try Arabic. And if you are learning it right now, more power to you. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more podcasts, more culture, more Arabic things, and some entertainment. If you guys want to see the extended version, head over to Patreon. You got some extra minutes going on over there, and it's also a great way to support the channel. Thanks again for watching. You guys are awesome, and as usual, take care. This is a rising picture.
Duh.